Daf Chof Vav Amud Beis will begin Chof Vav Amud Aleph, 2 dots, 5 lines from the bottom. V'chein shemati mimenu anshe chalzer sheshachach echad v'lo yirev beisai aser. And he also heard that someone from a chalzer, if one of the members of the chalzer forgot to join the Erev. So in order to carry from a house to the chalzer, you need Erev chatzeres. Houses are private ownership. Chatzeres are common. It's not a Rishus Rabim, but it is owned by more than one person, so it has the appearance of taking from Rishus Yav to Rishus Rabim. And therefore Chazal said you're required to make Erev Chatzeres in order to carry from the house to the Chatzer, and you need Erev Chatzeres to make it as if the Chatzer is one ownership. It's also owned by one. So he learned in the Mishnah that he also heard that if one of the members of the Chatzer forgot to join the Erev, he cannot carry from his house to the Chatzer, but the other members can. So, we learned in the Mishnah, we learned that not only can he not carry from his house to the Chatzer, they cannot carry from his house to the Chatzer. They can carry from their houses to the Chatzer because they joined the Erev Chatzeres. So their houses are considered one with the Chatzer. They're all joined in the Erev. Now, he doesn't aser them from carrying into the Chatzer, even though he didn't join the Erev Chatzeres. So we're talking in a case where he's mevatel his rishus to them. His ownership in the Chatzer, he relinquishes it over to them. He's mevatel to them. So it's as if he has no longer any ownership in the Chatzer. And so it's like he doesn't exist over here. So the fact that he didn't join the Erev is of no consequence because he's, in as far as his Chatzer, he is not an owner. It's like he's non-existent. It's like he's not a member of the Chatzer. But our Mishnah is mashma that they can carry not only from their houses, they can carry from his house as well. But here it says clearly that they cannot carry from his house either. They can carry from their houses, but not his house. Amar Rav Yeshua Amar Sheishes like Kasha says not a Kasha. Ha Rabbi Eliezer Ha Rabbanan. It's a machlekes Rabbi Eliezer Ha Rabbanan. When you analyze it, you'll see according to Rabbi Eliezer, if a person is mevatel his rishus in the Chatzer, and the cases we're talking over here is that he was mevatel the rishus in the Chatzer, he's also mevatel the rishus in his house. So therefore, according to Rabbi Eliezer, this person who forgot to join the Erev, he's mevatel his rishus completely, so he's like a guest over here. He has no ownership at all, not in the Chatzer, not in his house. That all therefore belongs to the other members of the Chatzer. They can carry from their house to the Chatzer, from his house as well, because he's also mevatel his rishus in his house. So that's what Rabbi Eliezer built. But according to the Rabbanan, even though he's mevatel rishus in the Chatzer, but he's not mevatel rishus in his house, he's not mevatel rishus in his house, so therefore nobody can carry from his house to the Chatzer, because his house is still his, and it's his ownership, where the Chatzer is not his ownership, so therefore it still has the appearance of carrying from rishus to rishus. You cannot carry from that house to the Chatzer. So, frankly, more pshita. Well, of course. What do you mean, kishatim saloimer? When you analyze it, what's to analyze over here? It's obviously this is the machlekes that they have. Amar Rahava Anavar Avhuna Barchin and the Targimna will explain it. Like nitzrucha ella, it needs for the following, and the chirsh is for the following. L'chamisha sheshoim b'chatzer echad. If you have 5 people who dwell in one chatzer, v'shakach echamem v'lo yirev, and one forgot to join the eruv. According to Rabbi Eliezer, according to Rabbi Eliezer, when he's mevatel rishus, so just like we say in Rabbi Eliezer that a person mevatel generously, and he mevatel rishus in his house, he automatically also mevatel rishus in his house. We'll extrapolate from that, and that's Kishatim Salemer. When you analyze it, you see the reason of Rabbi Eliezer that he says a person is mevatel v'ayin yofa, so he's generous with it. So therefore, in this case as well, if he's mevatel, if Reuven is mevatel to Shimon, and there's the other 4 people and there's another 3 other people in the Chaser, he doesn't have to be mevatel also to Levi and Yehuda and to Yisachar. And he doesn't have to be mevatel to each one. Once he's mevatel to one, we say automatically he's mevatel b'anyov, and he meant to be mevatel to each one of them. But the Rabbanan, according to Rabbanan, who say he's not so generous, and according to Rabbanan, who say just because he's mevatel rishus in the chaser, he's not mevatel rishus in his house. The Rabbanan kishu mevatel rishus tzarich levatel kol echad v'echad. In this case as well, we would say that they would say he additionally has to be mevatel to each and every one of the people in the chaser. It's not enough just to be mevatel to one of them. Kiman Hazal Hadasanya, according to whom does it go the following that we learn in the Bryce. 5 people are living in a chaser, and one forgot to make the Eruv. When a person is mevatel rishus, the one who forgot, when he relinquishes his rights to the other members, he does not have to be mevatel to each and every one of them. As long as he's mevatel to one, automatically it's assumed he's mevatel, he's nicha to mevatel to all of them. Kiman Rabbi Elazar. It's going according to Rabbi Elazar. Rav Kana Masna Hachi, Yomi Masechet Eruvin. He wrote in a different matter. The halach is the same, but it's just the version of how it's said. It's Kaman Hazal Adesanya, according to whom does it go the following? 5 are Shrim Echatzer V'Shakach. Remember the year of one forgot and was not Mark Yeshum Mevatel Rishusay, Einay Tzarech Levatel Rishus Kol Echad V'Echad, that he doesn't have to be Mevatel to each one. Kaman Amar Rav Huna bar Yehuda, Amar Sheshes Kaman Rabbi Elazar. According to whom does this go? It's going according to Rabbi Elazar. Now the previous version, what he said was, we made it in his remarks were regarding our Mishnah. And the dik on our Mishnah, and to be masberit within the Mishnah, and a poil yotze is this halacha that was mentioned over here. According to this version, there's no difference in the halacha. It's just that he's saying it, Rav Huna bar Yehuda says, name Risheshus, he's saying beferish that this halacha, he's saying beferish this halacha, that it's going according to Rabbi Elazar, that you don't have to mevatel to each one of them. Amarle Rapabala Baya. He said to Rabbi, if he asked the following, Rabbi Elazar. Now we said, according to Rabbi Elazar, a person who is mevatel rishus in his chaser, he automatically is mevatel rishus in his house as well. But what about Yomar le mevatlina? What if he says, no, I'm not mevatel. I'm only mevatel chaser, but not in the house? What we say according to that, or according to Rabbanan, we say a person he's not automatically mevatel rishus in his chaser. He's not mevatel rishus in his house. Yamar mevatlinan, mine. But if he says, I am mevatel rishus in the house and in the house, is it considered a bittul or relinquishing of the rights or not? So what's the reason? Time under Rabbi Elazar. Why does Rabbi Elazar say if he's mevatel rishus in the chaser, he's automatically mevatel rishus in the house? Mishum de kasavar, I'm mevatel rishus chatzera, rishus beisa bittul. Because he says a person is mevatel in an ayin yofer generously, and automatically he'll be mevatel the house as well. But in this case, the person says he's not going to, so therefore we have to take it as at face value, and therefore he's not doing it. Maybe time of the Rebbe Lezer, Mishum, the bias below. Or maybe we say the reason is not just because it's a gilui das, it shows us, it reveals a person's intention that he's mevatel in the chatzar, we assume he's also mevatel in the house. Or maybe the pshat is that once he's mevatel in the chatzar, a person can't properly live in a house without the chatzar. You need the chatzar to bring things in, to store things. The house is not functional without the chatzar. So once he's mevatel the rishus in the chatzar, he's automatically mevatel rishus in the house because it's considered to be an automatic bittul, because a person doesn't live in a house without a chatzar. So here, in this case, even if he does indicate his intention that he doesn't want it, we don't accept that. And and even if he says, no, I'm only mevatel the rishus in the chaser, but not in the house, we don't accept it, and it's meaningless because a person cannot live in a house without a chaser, and therefore, even if he says he's going to, we treat it as a meaningless statement. Once you're mevatel rishus in the chaser, the house is automatically mevatel as well. So that's the two tzdadim according to Rabbi Elazar. Now, what are the two stonim? If he does say that he's mevatel rishus in the house, what is the din? The Rabbanan say that it's not automatic. If he's mevatel the chaser, he's not automatically mevatel in the house. But let's say if he does say it. So again, time of the Rabbanan mishum to kasaver mevatel rishus chaser rishus beisulay bito. The reason is we don't assume a person will be so generous. We won't assume that he's mevatel said the ayin yofen. And just because he's mevatel rishus in the chaser, we don't say automatically he's mevatel the rishus in the house. But over here, but over here he's telling us that he's mevatel, so therefore we would accept it. Or perhaps we would say, time of the Rabbanim mishum delav v'neish the masak nashel gamrim v'bayis. Or you say, no, the reason why we say that a person is not mevatel rishus in the house, even though he's mevatel rishus in the chaser, is because a person is not going to completely have himself removed from his dwelling and become now as a stranger, as a guest. So even if he's mevatel the rishus, even if he relinquishes his rishus in the chaser, we don't say he's going to mevatel rishus in the bayis, because that's not normally a person normally would not do that. That's not the norm. That's something that is abnormal. A person doesn't become a guest in his own dwelling. And therefore, if a person says that he's doing it, we won't accept it, because it's not considered to be a bittul that is derech b'nei adam. So what would be the halacha? He said, Bein l'Rabbanan, Bein Rabbi Eliezer, came the Golidat, the Goli said, no, it's only a question of what his intent is. That's machlekes. Rabbi Eliezer says a person, he is mevatel generously, he's mevatel in the chaser, he's mevatel in the bayis. If he tells us he's not going to be mevatel in the house, he's not mevatel. And according to Rabbanan, it's also a question of intent. That's what the issue is. A person, just because he's mevatel in the chaser, they hold, he's not automatically mevatel in the bayis. But if he tells us he is, so we accept it in both cases at face value. Unrelated, he said in the Mishnah that he also heard from him that you can be yaitza the mitzvah of moror with our kavlin on Pesach. What is our kavlin? My our kavlin, Amarish Galus, Amarish Lakish, rather, Atzvosa Acharasayasa. He says it's the vine that grow around the palm trees, the date palms, the vine that grows around the trunk. Those vines, so those are considered like bitter herbs. Those are vines that you can be yaitz the mitzvah of moror with. So Bez Hashem will come to the new parak and next Talmud as well with the din of Eruvin. What are you allowed to make an Eruv with?